person serving life explains the concept of dignity better than I could put into words. Life in prison is a slow, torturous death. Maybe it would have been better if they had just given me the electric chair and ended my life instead of a life sentence. Letting me rot away in jail, it serves no purpose. It becomes a burden on everybody. Circa World Prison Brief. In this speech, I want to explain why life imprisonment is inhumane and a degrading punishment. Firstly, I will discuss the implications for human rights. Next, I will discuss the effects life imprisonment has on crime rates. Then I will discuss the long-term effects life imprisonment without parole has on the prison system as a whole. Firstly, I will discuss the implications for human rights. The sentence is disproportionately punitive, especially when used to punish nonviolent crimes such as supplying drugs. The harsher treatment often experienced by people serving life, including through denial of access to rehabilitation programs in many countries, their solitary confinement for long periods of time, and their routine use of handcuffs prevents one of the purposes of imprisonment from being fulfilled. That is rehabilitation, as enshrined in the UN Nelson Mandela rules. Imprisonment for life without parole raises the issues of cruel, inhumane, and degrading punishment. It undermines the right to human dignity by removing any hope of release and rendering the rehabilitative process of imprisonment essentially meaningless, because the point of rehabilitation is to become better for society. To become a better individual that can contribute to society and right their wrongs is pointless without the life imprisonment, because you are never given the chance to contribute to society in a meaningful way again, ultimately making life feel meaningless without any sense of purpose, because all hope of leaving is gone. As you can see, the implications life imprisonment has on human rights can be cruel and degrading, but there's more reasons why life imprisonment is ineffective and inhumane. Secondly, I will be discussing the effects life imprisonment has on crime rates. Even though crime rates have been deterred by the threat of prison, many studies show that extreme sentences such as life imprisonment without parole do not deter additional crime in an effective manner. Prison sentences like life imprisonment are effective in the sense of physically removing the potentially dangerous people from the community. But in most circumstances, life without parole is usually excessive. Research shows that even those who commit violent crimes mature out of lawbreaking by middle age. Even with research-backed information, we bury people in prisons as they grow old, sick, and frail. Public safety is always important, but the generational pain and damage caused by incarceration is something to be considered as well. The lives affected as a result of life imprisonment without parole. This continues to prove the severity of life imprisonment without parole and the effects life imprisonment has on crime rates. Lastly, I will be discussing the long-term effects of life imprisonment without parole on the prison system as a whole. The steady increase in use of life sentences has led to a rapidly aging prison population, which presents many problems for prison administrations around health and safeguarding. In the U.S. alone, 30% of people serving life are 55 or older, accounting to more than 61,000 people in the prison system, and even more increased strain on these prison facilities. Similar patterns have been seen in many other countries around the world, such as Australia, the UK, and Japan. Prison accelerates the aging process, so people serving lifelong sentences frequently have complex healthcare needs. The management of older people in prison, including those who have chronic or terminal illnesses, also put a major strain on prison staff, who are often not trained to deal with their complex health conditions or provide proper care, which these prisoners need to live a humane and healthy lifestyle in their sentences. It is also challenging to provide tailored and meaningful rehabilitation and reintegration programs for older persons or those serving long sentences. Most recently, this problem has only been exemplified of COVID-19 and the protocols and effects it has had on the prison system as a whole. And these are some of the reasons why life imprisonment without parole is inhumane and cruel. The point of this speech is to have a persuasive speech that not only gives multiple reasons as to why life without parole is cruel, but shows how degrading and inhumane it can be. Firstly, I did this by talking about implications for human rights. Next, I did this by talking about the effects life imprisonment has on crime rates. And finally, are the long-term effects life imprisonment without parole has on the prison system as a whole. I believe it is important for us to be fair and just in our punishments and take in regards these inmates' humanity no matter the crime, even if they're incarcerated otherwise. Life without parole becomes something far worse than the death ever could be.